Today we're talking about the best ways to deliver bad news. Well, unfortunately, as leaders and managers, it's inevitable at some point you're going to have to deliver some bad news, and it can be very difficult for everyone. Sometimes I feel like it's almost as bad for the person delivering the bad news. And the good news is there are best ways to deliver the bad news gracefully and respectfully. So before we talk about those ways, I want to stop and talk about some of the types of bad news, because in today's times we can get so transactional. We don't think about things like, what if we're announcing a company layoff? Or maybe I've seen people being announced in a group that they're no longer part of the project. They've been dismissed. So that's not really good. So let's think about some of the types of bad news. Number one, the project could be canceled. A job could be eliminated. A company could be closing. The stock price could go down, which could be impacting someone's retirement. A bad performance review. The boss may be changing jobs, which could be bad news for some people. A person's transfer into a different group, and maybe they're not aware of that. A training request could be denied. Layoffs, maybe reduced benefits. A merger or acquisition. Maybe someone in the group could be critically ill, or maybe even someone in the group could be fired. So here are two important questions I think I like to ask is, number one, how would I want to receive this news? If I can think about that, maybe it helps me in how I deliver it to someone else. And what are the legal and HR policies that need to be followed? Well, here's some ways that this news can be delivered gracefully and respectfully. Number one, you've got to consider what the scenario is, and then determine, is it best to deliver that news in person, maybe even one-on-one, if it's related to maybe a project or team. Maybe it's announced as the group. It also could maybe be done in a meeting, again, if it is related to maybe a project or a team or the organization. It could be done in a meeting. Or it could be done over lunch, maybe somewhere private where you could discuss things. It could be a town hall. Again, maybe it's a merger or acquisition where you're announcing something. And it could be a combination of different ones. For instance, depending upon the bad news is, there may be an announcement, and then there may be some one-on-one. So you can discuss how that impacts that specific person. So here's some tips. So again, follow the legal and HR policies, and then deliver that news truthfully and mindfully. People have a BS radar, so it's hard to give people BS. They're going to know that. Also, deliver the good news first. Well, assuming there is good news. But if there is good news, then layer that first and just let people know that they're valued and respected. And then listen to their response. Let them hear what they have to say and give them an opportunity to voice how they're feeling about that. And then seriously address any of their concerns. You know, many times with layoffs or job changes, or even if a project is canceled, people want to know, what does that mean for me? Does that mean, do I still have a job? Can I feed my family? So these are some of the concerns we want to be able to address with people. But if you need some additional resources on how you can deliver bad news, then sign up for our software now at projectmanager.com.